Guess what, everybody? Guess what, everybody? It's another episode of the Pop-Up Podcast. And it's special. This is actually super crazy because this is episode my fourth episode today, and we're just grinding it out. And why are we grinding it out? Because Christmas is going to be here next Tuesday, and New Year's is the Tuesday after that. So I had to sit here and get everybody in I could. That way, we can still have episodes while the new year comes in. So I want to give a little bit of an introduction. I met this dude on Instagram, doing big things, and I'm not talking about like no, for real. And I'm not talking about like, hey, he's trying or whatever. I talked to this dude a couple of months ago or whatever, and he basically just told me, he was like, yo, I had an idea, thought about it, and went out there and did it. And that is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So we're on the Pop-Up Podcast, and tonight's episode is being brought to you by the Blacklist Party. The Blacklist Party. What is the Blacklist Party? I'll tell you what the Blacklist Party is. It is the party that I am hosting down in Charlotte, North Carolina during All-Star Weekend, February 16th, 2019 at the Legacy Center. I don't know the address, but I know it's on South Boulevard, and it's 1.5 miles away from where the Hornets play. So that's what it is. So let's get into it. Brother, go ahead and introduce yourself, and yeah.
Awesome. My name is Joey Zacco. I founded the Legacy League, the summer of 2016, and ever since then it's been growing, and we got one in Connecticut and Rhode Island, and so it's a low rim basketball league, and so people sign up to play, and what you see on Instagram is a whole bunch of dunks and a whole bunch of highlights, and it's a really cool concept that's been growing. Yeah, man, I appreciate the love at the beginning. I like it.
Most def. Like I said, you started this off, I want to say less than a year ago, and you found out that other people around your city, your town, or whatever the case is, like to play basketball on lower goals. And as an entrepreneur, you saw an opportunity, a big business opportunity, and said, hey, guess what? Let's go ahead and make this happen, make this something that can generate some money. So tell me about a little bit of that process of your thinking with that.
Yep. So we started, I think almost 2 years ago now, but it was an idea I had from playing at my house in my backyard. And so getting buddies together at night, as guys, we like to get together and do stuff, so we try to get together and hang out, and it was like, hey, let's bring the hoop down. Let's play and hang out. And so I found out more people liked doing it than just my group of friends. Decided to try to, make a business out of it, start a league, and the interest kind of grew from there. And so now there's 10 teams in Connecticut currently, 10 teams in Rhode Island, and so it's all on full court, lower rims. And so doing it in 2 states is cool. I mean, once people see the product, it kind of sucks them in with the ability to do some things on a basketball court that they may not have been able to do otherwise. And then kind of from when I got the idea, started with the idea of building your legacy. So we had the Legacy League's name. We used the hashtag build your legacy as, kind of like a driving theme throughout the whole thing. So not only are you playing on a low rim, we keep stats, highlights, do post-game shows, do on-air stuff just like this. Yeah. And so we talk about it like it's a professional league and make people feel like they're professionals, allowing them to build their legacy. And then that was almost 2 years ago. And so continuing to grow, doing some clothing stuff, growing the website with the player pages and the stats and the power rankings. So it's just a full experience league. And that's kind of the extra stuff we do outside of the game. We have the games on the court, and then all the extra stuff off the court, like I talked about, that just adds to that experience.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, with the competition, let's go with that real quick. I know that Ice Cube has the Big Three. I know that they got a bunch of other leagues around and stuff. And I know you found a niche when it comes to the lower rim type deal. Do you find, or do you think that is helping you out? Do you think that more people are being tuned in because athletic ability wise, they may not be able to dunk on a full um, a full size goal or whatever? Because I seen some of the highlights on Instagram, and them dudes are up there acting like they Vince Carter. They up there acting like they're LeBron James, or or basketball in the '80s. Like they are really taking it there. Um, do you think with that being happening, as far as you scaling, like do you think that's going to be a major impact of how you grow this to the next level? Which I mean, and I know you know what the next level is, but will that happen? Like, will that take it to that next level?
Yeah, so I think competition, I think I'm super lucky with the types of players we got. And so it kind of could have went one of two ways, right? I'm not super athletic. I don't claim to be. But when you have super athletic people who like the idea and play, it raises the competition level, and it brings in people who have played in high school, who have played in college, who have played actually professionally overseas, and we're like, yeah, let's do it. Like, I'm really good on 10 feet. This is going to be awesome. And so we have that good competition level that has allowed for the better highlights, right? If we had that other aspect of people playing to have fun, which still happens, but if that was the majority, the highlights wouldn't be as good. And so I'm super lucky it took a turn that way with the more competitive, the better talented, and it appealing to that crowd. And that's allowed for a lot of the stuff you talked about. I'm going to give a shameless plug at legacy_leagues. If you want to see those highlights he's talking about, that's our social media handle. And that's where we post a lot of the good stuff. But the competition has been really good. It's continued to grow. And I think that has allowed for the growth of the league as well. Like I said, taking that turn with the more competitive style has been a great plus, and I'm happy with how it's turned out.
Now, with that being said, um, you're talking about competitive, um, the competitiveness of stuff. Have
Mm-hmm.
you ever had a problem, or do you foresee a problem, or do you have a protocol, or whatever, if things do get out of hand? Because it's men, we're very competitive, and things can get out of hand. So do you have protocols and stuff like that in place for that?
For sure. And so that's part task of running a league, running a business, running anything. There's definitely procedures in place. It doesn't happen often. A lot of people know and have realized I'm lucky that it's a privilege. It is an adult league, so it's people 18 years old and older. There actually is a height limit. You can't be over 6'4" because the rims are at 8.5 feet. So, you're already Kevin Durant. You can't be,
Right.
taller than that.
Gotcha.
But with some of the competitiveness, sure, comes the chippiness, as you talked about.
Gotcha.
Guys like to compete, like to win, want to win. All of the extra stuff we do adds to that desire to win. And so, if it ever gets out of hand, there is, punishments in place. There's, penalties. We actually have fines as well. I mean, we ain't messing around. We hit them where it counts. Because listen, once that happens and that gets out of control, it's hard to reel it in.
Definitely.
And so we'd rather come down, that way to keep a good thing going rather than let it get out of hand and then try to, reel it back in at that point. So yeah, so far so good. No issues. We have some good procedures in place. But yeah, so far so good.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. I future wise,
Mm-hmm.
do you think, like, I already know that you're trying to get to other states and stuff like that. Will you think about doing a girls' league or a ladies' league, I should say? Do you think that that's something that's going to be in the future as well?
Yeah, so I think there's definitely a market for it. I mean, I've done a lot with the WNBA actually covering games. I mean, I went to school for journalism, so I kind of have a feel of that side of things. But that has continued to grow, right? And women's basketball has continued to pick up popularity. And so imagine if it was, a women's professional league on a 9-foot rim instead of a 10-foot rim. where now they can dunk more easily. It's more what people want to see. Chicks dig the long ball, right? Well, chicks also like slam dunks. So, if you can get them to dunk, it would be more appealing for TV, more appealing for, the internet. And so I think that's definitely a possibility. Right now, it's only a men's league. I think having that niche right now is kind of where I'm at in the low rims. But hey, a lot of people, I've heard a lot of feedback actually on, other women basketball players being like, yo, that'd be cool. Like, just keep that in mind. That'd be real cool. So I think there's definitely a possibility for that.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Now, you have that, you're doing this, and you said something, or you touched on the TV thing. Now, I don't want to get in all the business. I don't, because I know that certain things are just, trade secrets or whatever the case is. Are you eyeing something to where you'll be able to get some sponsorship dollars? Are you going to be maybe having something like on Vimeo, how they have, you can stream the whole thing, but you got to pay $1 or $2 or whatever to watch it. Like, what are your thoughts on that? What if you can answer those questions?
Yeah, sure. No, I'm an open book on that, man. So I'm, 2 years is how old the business is.
Mm-hmm.
Super young, trying not to go too fast.
Yeah.
I think some people make that mistake trying to build it, right. So it is sustainable and reproducible.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as that, currently we do highlights on Snapchat. And so we have highlights for all of our games on Snapchat, and currently that's free. Players like that, when they get off the court, they get to see their friends get dunked on, kind of immediately, because Snapchat gets posted right away.
Definitely.
So currently that's a really good system. I think more of where things are going to go before TV. I mean, listen, possibilities are endless, and I'm super open to exploring everything. I think where it's going to go before that is advertising on Snapchat. Through us, advertising on our YouTube live shows that we do about the league, advertising on our Instagram, when we make a post or the player of the week sponsored by so-and-so.
Yes.
I think that's more where it's going to go first. There's definitely eyeballs. Listen, when you're playing in a league and you have highlights, you have your stats, you're not just going to the web page, clicking it and leaving. We have your attention.
Yeah.
And attention on the internet right now, I think, you'll attest to this, is like gold.
Yeah.
If you can, not just clicks, because those can be deceiving, but if you can have someone's attention for a minute, and that seems like a short amount of time, but a minute on the internet's a long time. And so with how quick people like to change platforms and stuff. So if you can get people's attention, that's key. And what's better to have their attention than their stats or their highlights or, their recreational stuff where people care, man. That's the one thing I've noticed. People love it. They like to play. They really care. Definitely. And it's cool. It's really it's been cool.
Definitely. So when touching back on the Snapchat thing, I know you probably have a contract or two with the play where you're at playing right now. So I know, and once again, if you're not in a marketing type deal, you may not know how Snapchat filters work when it comes to ad stuff. So you're going to definitely have that perimeter or whatever around the Snapchat filter, or wherever you're playing, that Snapchat filter is going to be there, and then you're going to get somebody else to sponsor you to buy that spot for that day. That's what I'm talking about.
Correct. I've already looked into that.
Yeah.
Because I am a business. I'm not trying to hide it. It does cost money. Yeah. Haven't done that yet. Exactly. But if you get somebody who wants to advertise that way and then pay for that filter, that's definitely an option for sure.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's next level stuff for real. That's you're really utilizing and using those platforms, even though like they may be small as far as your numbers or whatever the case is, they're going to make a huge impact because of that growth potential. So I'm really glad that you're doing that. So now, like I said, Pop-Up Podcast, we are here. Tonight's episode is also brought to you by Rothstein Clothing Company. Rothstein Clothing Company. We're thriving. So now I'm going to get into a little bit of a what I like to call the Spitfire round. That's 5 questions, 4 or 5 questions, maybe 3. I don't know, on stuff that just pops in my head.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's get to it. Favorite basketball player?
Oh, Jason Kidd. That's quick. New Jersey Nets fan, Jason Kidd. I love it, man. Sorry.
What?
Yep. That's what happens when you're from Connecticut, man. There's no teams. There's no teams in Connecticut. It's whoever you see. Jason Kidd. Shout out.
That's what I'm talking about. That's crazy. So who you think is going to take it this year for the finals right now?
So listen, you don't pick against the Warriors, but I think the Sixers Warriors could be fun. And always watch out for the Celtics. They are loaded. They haven't been playing that well, but I think the Warriors take it. I think they are one of the best teams ever. I think they're going to join that conversation with another win this year in the finals. Hey, they win what, 3 out of 4, right? We're starting to approach that territory if they win it this year.
Well, I'm just saying because I know it's heavy over in the West.
No, I know.
It's heavy over in the West. Like, I'm a New Orleans fan. I'm just gonna be real. That's just it. I'm from the Gulf Coast. You know, even though I'm from Florida, I was 3 hours away from New Orleans, and that's just what it is. I'm a Pelicans fan, all day, every day. But I know it is heavy over in the West. So, hey, there you go. Christmas. What you got? What you think is going to happen? Do you have all your Christmas shopping done?
None of it done. I've been a tad busy running a business. But speaking of Charlotte, I actually am heading to Charlotte, visiting family for Christmas. So I know you led with that. And I'm going to watch Kemba Walker, UConn alum, actually on Friday. So I'll be at the Hornets game on Friday. I know you were pushing that at the beginning, and I was like, oh, yep. I will be at the game Friday. I'm super excited, but no Christmas shopping done. We'll see how it goes. I still have some time, right?
Yeah, you have what? Today's Tuesday, so you have 7 days, 6 days, whatever. So
I'm good.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh well, let's get into it. So getting down here in Charlotte, what do you plan on doing? Are you going to try to go after a couple people? Are you going to try to expand the league? Look at some potential, places where you could expand it. Maybe not next year, or maybe next year. I don't know, because like I said, your scalability is tremendous right now.
Yeah, appreciate it. I mean, I'm always looking. I like basketball, so it's not really work. So yeah, definitely just scouting stuff out. It is around the holidays. Going to spend some time with family as well. Slow down a little bit. I mean, it's been crazy these past couple weeks. Not having a ton of time to do stuff. I mean, you said you were grinding before the holidays, so never hurts to take a few days, to chill out for a minute and then get right back to it. Yeah, but definitely staying on top of things, checking stuff out. I mean, yeah, seeing what's out there.
Well, that's what, excuse me. That's what I'm talking about. So, I guess I'm in the Spitfire round right now. So, do you have any last words? Do you have anything else you want to add or anything like that?
Yeah, just want to thank you for having me. So, at Legacy_Leagues, check us out. Yeah, thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Not a problem, brother. Not a problem. So, like I said, we are episode 4 right now. I am tired. I am dead tired. I also have another interview to do. And I also have to go out to Fat Tuesdays down somewhere on Liberty Street. I forgot where it is, but Fat Daddy is throwing $2 Tuesdays each and every Tuesday night. $2 drinks, $2 specials all night long. Go out there, listen to some music, and have fun. This is your boy Promise Mangum, the pop-up podcast. Hey, you never know what's going to happen. Oh, do your social one more time. Social.
Yep, at legacy_leagues all over. Follow us. Thank you.
That's what I'm. Oh shoot! Wait a second. That's what I'm talking about. All right, y'all be easy. Peace.